Yo, what is up? We're back live again. I felt like going live again, cause why not? And by the way, I decided to put my microphone back because I felt like I felt like I could, use the Streamer X without having to download the application. So I just thought, you know what? Why not we just plug it up to the PC and see if it works? And guess what? It works fine. Like I can still, use my headset and all this other shit to make sure everything is working. But pretty much um yeah, as y'all can tell, I need a shower because my greasy hair. Um, so pretty much we're gonna react to something. I'm gonna go ahead and make me some food real quick. You know what I'm saying? And let's go ahead and pull this up real quick. Um,
Parents of children who play Roblox. If your child was sexually exploited, abused.
What is this meta even? Holy never played anything worse than this. This surge got to be the...
yeah, so let me go ahead and throw some food into the air fryer because I need something to eat, chat. I need some food. So let's go make some food real quick. Yeah. And after we eat, I will probably put a video on where y'all will just be able to watch a video while I'm in the shower getting myself clean. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's go ahead and go throw some food on.
Worst of all time. Thank God it's over. Never think of adding solo mode back until you change the surge. This surge about to make the most Mickey FNCS win ever. If you don't pull zone, you might as well just leave the game. 10 of the 12 games had zones that pulled south of the map in Europe's Solo Cash Cup finals. Scroll, who won the event, was undoubtedly blessed by how many zones pulled near his drop of Battlewood Boulevard. Apart from Giras and Twy, all of the top 10 players also had great zone luck. Can you guess where the worst performing 10 players dropped? That's correct, for the most part, to the north of the map. The prize pool for this event was $121,500, with first place taking home $15,000. So did where the zone pooled really cost top players thousands of dollars? In order to understand that, we need to take a deep dive into game number 3 and go through the eyes of Vanya, who made 4 different tweets showing his frustration about this meta. Unsurprisingly, Vanya dropped at Latte Landing in the north of the map, and overall in this tournament he ended up placing 39th. In this match, the zone pulls to the southwest, so he makes an early rotation from his drop spot. As he arrives at the edge of the second zone, he spots Kiro, who he tags for 34 damage. This is really important because there are 82 players still alive, which means that Storm Surge will activate later in the match. Historically, players with the least total damage would be hit by Storm Surge during zone transitions. However, as of October, that has been changed to net damage, which is damage dealt minus the damage you take. So with 34 damage dealt and 0 damage taken, Vanya currently has a net damage of 34. However, now, because Kiro's been shot at, he just builds up on top of the hill and stares back at Vanya. This means that Vanya cannot rotate up this hill in front of him, so instead it goes around and rotates towards Lethal Labs, where there are already 6 players boxed up. But because this has taken a while, a lot of other players have also rotated into this position, like Izzy. Vanya next sees an opportunity to shoot Kiro for 70 damage, which would put him 104 damage above, However, he gets shot for 102 damage by Izzy, making his net surge +2. Since he's then had to box up and heal, Kiro rotates in front of him and now has a high ground position to hold Vanya from, where he's able to tag him for 42 damage. And now for the first time in this match, Vanya has a negative net surge damage of -40. His ex-teammate Swizzy then hits him for 48, so now all of his big pots are gone from his inventory. This means he has to force his way into the mending machine, which is nearby, where he can buy more with gold. However, Swizzy is camping here and pumps him for 57, and eventually at this point he is able to buy 2 more bigs, but he's -145 net surge and needs to start dealing damage. I would say at this point the game is recoverable. If he builds up, starts dealing damage to other players around him, then he can get a positive net damage, meaning he won't die to Storm Surge. But unfortunately, instead of looking for damage, he starts to refarm around him to get his materials back up, and Swizzy is able to lurk on him again and hits him for 43, and then for a third time and hits him for 10. He then sits in a box with no top and is beamed for 158 damage by Truly, so at this point his net surge damage is -356, the lowest of anyone alive in the lobby. Storm Surge activates on the zone transition, and because his net damage is the lowest, he starts taking 25 damage every 5 seconds. So while being 300 below and getting ticked by active surge, he pushes Lars and dies. Now this was an early match in the tournament, and I think Vanya himself would agree that he made a lot of mistakes here that cost him the match. I know this because he didn't do this in later matches, as in a Game 7 for example, which had a very similar zone. He rotated up and over the hill where he first shot Kiro, rather than rotating round into Lethal Labs. But I chose this messy Game 3 as an example to showcase if your zones continue to pull far from your drop, it's very easy to end up in a position where you're surrounded by other players and get farmed for damage, and then the game is basically over. To contrast this, look at how easy the 2 games were where Vanya pulled the zone. Game 1 was one of these, and he rotated to the center of the second zone on this hill position, which was very close to his drop spot. Then he was able to sit here for 10 minutes as he lucked out, pulling every single zone over and over, and he could stay up here and tag everyone around him. Because he didn't have to rotate, he could make extremely safe peeks and focus on taking as little damage as possible whilst dealing as much damage as he could. So Storm Surge this game was an absolute breeze. In the only other game where the zones pulled to the north, which was Game 4, he did basically exactly the same thing and did not struggle. Now you may think this seems a little unfair. If the zone pulls close to you, Surge is completely easy, and if the zone pulls far, it's basically over. You'd also think that if you read Vanya's tweets. Worst Surge ever, cloud emoji. Solo Cash Cup Day 1, worst Surge, worst zones. Solo Cash Cup Finals, bring back old Surge for solos. Hey at Fortnite status at Fortnite competitive, can you bring back old Surge for solo mode? Thanks. And finally, yes, the Surge may be good for duos or trios, but not for solo mode. However, for all of these tweets, Vanya started to receive a lot of criticism, with Flixie replying, "Bro, don't tell me you want to start trading in solos as well." And he was not the only one who replied something similar to Vanya. The entire reason that Storm Surge was changed to net damage from total damage dealt was because teams were trading Surge back and forth with each other, intentionally not killing each other to artificially rack up damage. Vanya's team did this in every single FNCS last year, so it's no surprise that so many people thought he was tweeting about net Storm Surge being bad because he can't trade anymore. No shade to him from me, trading was literally just the meta, and I'm just using this situation as an example to explain the issue, but is he right? Is this Surge just hide and seek?
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in
There's-
Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
To answer that, we need to look at Scroll, who won. He had some insane zone luck, so was his $15,000 win just gifted to him? Well, obviously not. All the other players landing this area also had the same RNG, and Squirrel was actually the only person who dropped in the southwest.
Chat, it is cold as shit. Yo, I need to put some weight on. Like, soon. Oh my god. Like, I'm telling y'all, I am about bone, and I'm freezing right now. It's the best way I can say it. I'm fucking freezing my ass off. So, come on, somebody can come up. So, let me go ahead and put my heater turned on.
Quarter of the map that placed in the top 10. His teammate Sky, who landed at the same drop, had all
I'm like hungry as hell, chat. I got the munchies like a motherfucker. Like, badly. And not like, I want to play Fortnite now. So, you know what? We'll go ahead, load up Fortnite real quick. And, yeah. That will probably be the move. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, by the way, I don't know if I will be able to add links into my descriptions yet. But before we start, I want to say go to the link in my bio and join my Discord. Please. That's all I ask for. Because if you want to be a part of my community, or our community, as we're going to call it, just join the server down below, or in the, not down below, but in the bio. But soon, hopefully I can get it onto, what's it called? I can get my Discord links, or get my links put into my bios, or into my stream bios, so yeah, socials will be in stream bios, or in stream descriptions and shit. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's just do that. Chat, I need to get a rolling chair so bad. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I like, hold on. Y'all see what I'm sitting in right now? This hard wood. It's not comfortable. And we need to upgrade the chair. But after this stream, hopefully that is good enough. But yeah, hopefully content will be when is Tyler coming here? Is he not dropping stuff off here? Alright. Alright.
Hey, look at this cool little screwdriver I got.
Huh?
Look at this cool screwdriver I got for $5. It's got every. It's got every little. You just
Oh shit.
fold it out like that, and it's also got a light on it too. Look.
Oh shit, I didn't even know. I've never seen
Yeah.
a screwdriver with a flashlight on it.
But this is just a good one to try. I've got all, and it's even got little small ones like
Oh,
right
it
here.
does?
Yeah, look how small it's got. Look, you got to unscrew this, and it's got the small one. Then you can unscrew the other side and flip it around, and it's got the flathead side on that.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now when I have it, I won't have to go searching for something. So you don't have to worry about it. All right.
Alright, are you going to lay down?
Yeah, thanks.
Alright, I love you. Oh yeah, chat, I wish I could be able to smoke this with y'all, but sadly, I can't, but if there was a way I could take my stream outside from, is there a way? I gotta look it up. Cause if there's a way that I'm able to transfer my, be able to add my phone as a video capture, oh, that would be dope as fuck. But I don't know if I could take my phone, outside. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's a robot. I don't know if this kid went outside or what. Oh, I fucked it up. Yo, it's like everyone's trying to get a taste of me, bro. I'm not like that. I didn't have. Oh my god. Yeah, let's go ahead and run that back. I don't know if y'all can hear my soundboard or not.
You can look at the light. You see what's in the light.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that. How did you
You
do
can
that?
make it count.
How'd you do that?
I really don't know.
Let me see. Did you cycle through the mode thing? Click it one more time. Click it and then I don't know.
Look at it now. Watch it.
Yeah, it's changing colors.
No, it's getting dim and it's coming back.
Oh yeah, I've already seen that. I was messing with it in my room.
See, here it is like that. I don't know. You want me to keep?
See if you press the plus or the minus button. See if it like.
I'll get the
Fuck, I'm dead.
I'll get the right.
Oh, just get out of here, please, for the love of God. Oh my fucking God, how am I alive? How am I still breathing, chat? Oh my God. That did not work out really well. What is that? Is that the box for it?
Yeah.
Oh. Now I need to get some pills. So does it explain the number thing?
Yeah, you gotta like, hold on.
Yeah, I was seeing if you had to like press the plus or the minus button and if it adds like numbers up or what.
I have no idea.
Or is that even what it is?
I have no idea. I'll see if I can figure it out. That's what I bought it for, was this color right here anyways. So we can see better. Here's the
Alright.
box though. The box has the instructions on it.
Alright. Alright, let's. Huh? Alright, hopefully nobody is here. I pray. Fuck it, go right here. Dude, my throat is like dry as fuck. Fuck it, I'm gonna be the dickhead in third parties. Be the dickhead in third parties. Fuck it, we're on. We're going, we out this bitch. I'm just now beyond grateful that I'm now 200 HP. Oh, fuck my life. God damn, bro. Like, where? I'm like, he's under me! What the fuck, bro? Alright, well, I'm gonna go get in the shower real quick. Chat. So, let me go ahead and put y'all up a YouTube video real quick while I'm gone. And yeah, let me find something interesting for y'all to watch. My nose has been itching me like a motherfucker. I'll let y'all watch this.
This may be the
This dude max out a You know what? Dual 5090s? Who the fuck needs that? Like, really, who needs two 5090s in a computer? Like, what's the point? How many fucking monitors are you gonna have? Like, how many displays are you gonna run through? I mean, hold on.
This
I don't know how many display ports and HDMI ports are on the 5090, so you could probably run a good little bit.
was the fastest PC that I've ever built. 2 RTX.
Oh my god, and he has a Threadripper too, bro. Oh my god, what the fuck type of build is this? You know what? Y'all enjoy this. I will be back when I'm done cleaning myself. And while I do that, I'll figure out a way to bring my stream outside where I can smoke. See how I can bring it onto my cellular device. You know what I mean? Like transfer it over. But if I can't, then that's just gonna be a fat L. Fat L. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed this this little video right here. Yeah, I just keep on saying but yeah. So at this point, y'all enjoy the video. Yeah, I'll be back.
5090s, the latest 64-core Threadripper, 128 gigabytes of RAM. It's so fast it needed a 2200 watt to keep it running. But there's one major problem. This top GPU is overheating. And I don't mean just like a little bit warm. That top GPU is hitting 87 degrees C.
Okay. I don't know. It seems like
A few minutes.
yeah, it seems like I have to have my headphones on or else y'all won't be able to hear OBS. So you know what? Let me go ahead and plug my headphones in. And yeah. Y'all enjoy this. And yeah, I'm gonna go clean myself. And figure out how to get the stream on my phone.
Of rendering. At that point, the fans are screaming, the temperatures are way too hot, and I'm actually losing a bit of performance from that GPU as well. Basically, I have no option but to try and fix this. At least I'm gonna be pushing out, but let's start with the easy part. This.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll do that after the stream and shit. And by the way, this is what my dad wanted to come in here and show me. This little like bar thing. Apparently it has numbers on it. So apparently what I'm looking at is it counts up, like y'all can't really see it at all because it's a fucking light, but it like one, like I don't know, it's pretty fucking weird. 2, 3, there's like, I think there's a lot more different modes on here. I have no, yeah. Like, what? There's a whole countdown. There's a whole fucking countdown on a goddamn light panel. Oh. I don't know, man. I mean, it's alright. I mean, the power button doesn't even fucking work, so anytime that I click it, it don't even turn off.
CPU. This is a Threadripper 9980X, 64 cores, 128 threads, and believe it or not, it actually doesn't need as much cooling as you think, especially out of the box. Still though, we are hooking it up to the custom loop, and for that, I've gone with this block here from Heatkiller. Finding a Threadripper water block was actually surprisingly difficult, but no complaints with this one at all. Full coverage, really clean, and the mounting is super straightforward. But now for the hard part, tearing down these 5090s. It's a shame because this super efficient
Why the fuck do you need this many displays?
slot cooler design on the new FE cards is one of my favorite things about them. I've got to be really careful not to break anything here, so there's still the option to go back to them. I'm also going to tear down both at the same time because there's a lot of steps. The first few are simple enough. We've got the IO bracket at the rear with a bunch of screws underneath there as well, and then there's 2 more screws at the other end. Then there's this hourglass piece on the backplate that's held in with magnets. I wedged a little plastic scraper tool in there, which seemed to work pretty well. Then we've got 4 more screws here which lock in those 2 side parts on the backplate, and this is where it gets really weird. the PCIe connector on the Founders Edition GPUs are actually a separate piece. It's connected here with 6 more screws and its own little retention bracket. I'm being very careful with this part because, yeah, you don't want to break this. You're probably thinking that this is insane over-engineering for a GPU by now, but it gets even crazier. After that, we've got 4 more screws holding in the main part of the backplate, which we lift off and reveal the insanely dense back portion of the PCB. Then we get to one of the more tedious parts, these tiny cables. One of them is this tiny 2-pin cable with a sliding latch, and then there are 2 more ribbon cables with latches that need to be carefully lifted up. If you have a small tool, like a toothpick, that will make this a lot easier. Then there's this part right here. This is actually the connector for the rear I/O. All of your 4K ray traced frames are sent right through this thing here, which is just so insane. From there, we've got the 4 main screws clamping the GPU down to the heatsink, and I was super careful here. I barely did 1 full screw turn at a time just to make sure it releases as evenly as possible. Even the retention bracket is just straight up nuts when you really take a look at it, because NVIDIA don't use any springs for mounting, it's just the pure tension that you get from this pre-bent bracket. And that's it. We can now lift up the main ingredient of what makes an RTX 5090. I knew this thing was small and dense, but holding it in person and seeing how close all of the components are together, man, it is just something else. I mean, the GPU itself is massive, the GDDR7 memory stacked so closely it's practically overlapping, and don't forget this board also includes all of the dense power circuitry as well. There's basically no room for anything else. Making the circuit board this small is one of the main reasons the cooling is so good on the 5090 FE. Air can push right through the heatsink and right past the circuit board completely unobstructed. Liquid metal is also one of those reasons, allowing for a higher thermal conductivity to the heatsink. We'll be reapplying this with something fresh in just a minute. And there's actually one more thing. We still need that I/O cable if we want to make a complete GPU. These are the last steps to completely disassembling this card. Removing the fans, wrestling with the heatsink and the annoying clips that it's held in by, and then super carefully removing that insane connector after applying a bit of heat. And that's it. That's the 5090 FE completely torn down like 8 million parts later. And then fast forward a bit of time later, here they are with the water blocks installed, and man, just
At Full Sail, our technology programs are
Oh, so he's installing water blocks onto them. Okay,
Designed
so
with a
he's gonna
different-
water block cool the GPU.
an approach to learning.
I don't. Is that gonna go well, or is that gonna go extremely bad? Cause like, what if it leaks? Ooh, then you're gonna have a problem right there. I would honestly just stick to. I don't know. You do you, man. It's your setup. Go for it.
We let our students get hands-on and start creating. They're learning to code, and they're using amazing tools like 3D printing and virtual reality.
take a look at these. These are some of the nicest GPU water blocks that I've personally ever seen. For me, this workstation, just pure performance aesthetic, absolutely annihilates the typical gaming GPU water blocks that you'll see with acrylic and RGB. Also, can you believe that this is a 5090? I mean, it's still kind of blowing my mind how small this thing is. Very compact, single slot, 234 mils in length, inlet and outlet ports at the very end. And believe it or not, half of the block is actually just empty space. It's just there to make a bit of a gap for that I/O cable that we just pulled out. It was also pretty cool to see the 5090 die up close and just kind of geek out for a bit, because it has this really cool gasket that surrounds the GPU. There's like 3 gasket barriers to protect the liquid metal from degradation and from like spilling onto the circuitry. And it seems to be doing a pretty good job, because the liquid metal that was on there originally looked brand new. I actually bought these from AliExpress. They're from Bixby. They took about a month to arrive. They also arrived a little bit scratched on this mirror plate on the front here, but yeah, overall, still really happy with how they look, and I cannot wait to get these fired up. So with the water blocks installed, it was time to get everything mounted in the case, hooked up, and ready for some water cooling madness. But this is where I hit a major roadblock. The case that I used for this build wasn't exactly cooperating with what I had planned. I had an assortment of 360mm radiators ready, but they barely fit, and also there was no way to properly mount one to the bottom. I had this epic plan. You know, this build was going to have a ton of cooling, it was going to look dense and insane, but that's not where things were heading. It's definitely not Phantex's fault. This case is really nice if you want to build something similar to my initial air-cooled build, but extreme liquid cooling, yeah, that's not happening. So I gave up and got myself a new Apple Mac Pro. I'm just kidding. This is actually
I was finna fucking say, ain't no way.
a PC case. It's the Apollo X from MacPro. I've had this case sitting around for about a year now, and I've been waiting for something really epic to do with it, and I think now is the perfect time. It looks like an Apple Mac Pro from every angle, and I'm not talking like fake cheap Mac Pro. I mean, look at this thing, even up close. The anodizing and the quality are really close to what you would get from Apple. This cheese grater CNC front panel as well, I think looks incredible. I know it's like the fake PC version, but hey, it's pretty close to what Apple's putting out as far as I can see. These chrome handles as well run through the entire case, just like the real thing. It is actually a bit more compact than the Phantex case that I was using for air cooling, but somehow it fits my EATX Threadripper board no problem at all. And before I swapped over to this thing, I had to make sure that it would be suitable for extreme liquid cooling in terms of how much radiator volume you could fit in here. So I got out the measuring tape just to make sure, and turns out you can fit quite a bit in here. This is AlphaCool's 360mm Monster, and it comes in at 86mm thick. For reference, your typical AIO has a radiator thickness of 27 to 28mm, so this is like 3 of those stacked together. The fin density though, on the other hand, is pretty low. Apparently performance on this is best in a push-pull setup with lower fan speeds, so I'll keep that in mind once we get this up and running. For the fans, I've gone with the P12 Pros from Arctic. I haven't used these before, but if it's anything like their other stuff, the airflow and the noise should be really good. Fitting in that massive front radiator though was definitely a challenge. I had done the measurements, I knew it would fit, but I had to put the build upside down to prevent scratching anything, and I also had to go with slim fans on the rear, otherwise it was actually blocking the motherboard 24 pin. With slim fans though, it's basically as perfect as the clearance can possibly get, so no complaints there, and the cooling should hopefully still be really insane. And believe it or not, there's still room at the bottom for a 240. We can't go as thick for this one as we've got that bottom GPU to think about, but this extra rad should help lower things by a few extra degrees at least. And then just a couple extra 80mm fans from Noctua running in the rear as exhaust to just help out those 5090s a little bit more. They need as much cooling as they can get. Now, the build was really getting somewhere, and actually, I realized I could fit a lot more in this compact mid-tower than I thought. But there's one more part that we need. And it's this, the pump and reservoir. And the one I've gone with here is this insanely clean Uni 240D from Steelkey with an Apex D5 pump from AlphaCool. This is not only going to pump coolant throughout the entire loop, but it serves as a nice distribution block as well and a tank for some spare liquid. The problem though is finding somewhere to mount it. We don't exactly have much space left over. Luckily though, before I installed any of the parts, I actually 3D scanned the interior of the case. That way I had an accurate reference to then create a quick 3D model in Fusion and then work on some custom mounting for this pump and res. I've actually done this exact thing a number of times in way smaller builds too, but this one was really tricky. The only empty space left in this entire build is in front of the motherboard, and this thing just barely fits between the front and rear fans. There's basically 5mm of clearance on either side. Making things worse, the mounting points on this pump res are behind it, so I can't exactly just, fit it in and screw it in. I need to make something that was hidden and clean and also toolless and secure. After about an hour of playing around, I came up with this. It's a sliding rail kind of design with a little notch on the other side so it kind of locks itself in, but if you really want to release it, you can just by applying enough force. At least that's how I imagine it to work. I ended up 3D printing this in resin on the Formlabs Form 4 because it ended up actually being a bit faster than filament when I looked at the print files, and also because the tolerances for these sliding parts need to be basically perfect. And it actually worked. The rail slides in and self-locks just how I imagined. I did have to reprint this though just to get the mounts lined up perfectly and also to thicken up the ones on the pump res side. But yeah, now it sits really nicely in that top part of the build, and the best part is if I need to pull it out to access the RAM or the CPU, I can do that really easily without a single tool. The only thing left to do was to drop in those 5090s, hook up the tubing, fill it up with coolant, and finally see if everything had worked. This thing turned out really, really nice. I actually can't believe that this is my new machine. But now is the moment I've been waiting for. You know, how are the temperatures, specifically on those two 5090s? That's the entire reason I water-cooled this machine in the first place. The air-cooled version of the system was pretty much unusable, if I'm honest, with one of those GPUs being thermally limited. Well, not anymore. Now, at full load in Blender, these 5090s sit below 50 degrees. I don't think I've ever had a system with GPU temps this cool. Even with both side panels on, lowering the fan speeds, adding the Threadripper to the rendering, the GPUs sit below 60, and that's with an ambient temp of around 24. Also, because the GPUs are running cooler, they're naturally going to run a little bit faster with lower power draw than an air-cooled variant of it. But I wasn't expecting performance like this. We're seeing boost clocks up almost 200 megahertz, and the power draw is sitting around 400 watts. Now granted, Blender doesn't push both GPUs to the absolute limit. It's like 95, 96% usage when rendering, but I have just tested V-Ray, and still I'm seeing like 450 watts on those GPUs. Sounds like a lot, but remember, out of the box, these cards usually pull like 575, 600 watts. So yeah, the power reduction and the performance increase just from liquid cooling, I mean, it's a cheat code. And I am actually really glad I went with this case. It is extremely convincing as an Apple Mac Pro, but then you take the side panel off and it looks like something from a different planet. The performance of this, by the way, compared to a fully spec'd Mac Pro is in a completely different dimension. Apple is still really lagging behind when it comes to GPU compute on the enthusiast end. So, you know, MacBooks, Mac Minis, I personally love those, but for this stuff, rendering, gaming, just pure GPU horsepower, it's not even close. So yeah, I cannot wait to put this thing to some very good use.
Well, that was a decent video. So yeah, let's go ahead and, you know, play some Fortnite. I'll probably play some box fights to warm up real quick. And chat, we will be live during this event. I will try my best to go live for it, or to, you know, make a video on it, whichever one, I don't know. But I might go live and on that day. I mean, I don't know when it is, but hold on. The ice storm returns. Stars beneath. You know what? Let's play OG, because why not? Oh, I forgot I already had all of that. I don't remember. Wait, when did this even come out? Oh. Yo. They have their own game modes? What? It's fucking retarded. Oops. Where is it? I'm looking. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't like this map. It's pretty laggy.
No, I'm lagging. Oh, I'm lagging.
What the fuck? Oh, Darcy.
Yeah, this map is like pretty laggy, and I'm not fucking with it. It's way too laggy for me. So yeah, let's go ahead and find a map that's not laggy. And Or let's usually play the main box fight map that I don't normally play. Just normally this one I am assuming. But yeah, guys, I want y'all to hopefully join the Discord. Every time I go live, it'll tell y'all right here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, pretty much there's achievements. You I don't know how I'm still alive, but
Bro, I didn't even know you were still in there.
Holy, you were targeting. Yeah, it's got sandwiched. Doing a left hand. What's wrong with the left hand? That shit is buns.
Oh, he took that wall in 3 seconds. How do you know that?
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Go through on his zone. I'm dead. Holy fuck, you're cornball.
Yeah, these kids are fucking sweats. They got no life. They probably sit on this fucking game all day. Yeah. So really, I just wanted to come on here and, you know, just come be live for a minute, you know, just get something out while people are, you know, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but yeah, this will probably be it for right now. So y'all got a setup. I got my video for my setup tour coming. I'm gonna probably go ahead and record that. And yeah, and I'll probably go ahead and, you know, post that, and it'll be out later today maybe. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream. Yeah, so beware, setup tour is coming. It will be posted on this channel that I am live on right now. It will be posted on the second channel. So yeah, I will catch y'all in that video. And yeah.